When you're standing in the craft room, staring at a pile of fabric and wondering whether it's worth pulling the plug on your old sewing machine for something that can actually do embroidery, it feels like you're about to make a huge mistake. I get that hesitation. You've probably heard about the brother Stellaire XE1 and imagined it sitting there with a massive screen and a ton of designs, but you also worry you'll end up paying for a fancy gadget that just sits idle because it doesn't fit into your workflow. If that sounds like you, stick around. This isn't a tech spec dump, it's a walkthrough of what owning this machine really looks like day to day. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest thing people worry about with any embroidery machine is the learning curve. The Stellaire XE1 tries to soften that with its 10.1-inch high-definition LCD. When you power it up, you're greeted by a bright, crisp interface that feels more like a tablet than a traditional machine panel. The screen lets you zoom into a design, see the stitching path, and even adjust the position with a touch-friendly pointer that glows when you press the foot pedal. In practice, that means you can line up a monogram on a shirt cuff without squinting or guessing where the needle will hit. I tried placing a small logo on a cotton polo, and the LED embroidery pointer gave me a clear visual cue of the exact center. The design landed exactly where I wanted, no rehooping required. Now, let's talk about the real estate on the hoop. The XE1 boasts a 9.5 by 14-inch embroidery area, which is a step up from many entry-level machines that only give you a 5 by 7 space. That extra width is a game-changer if you like tackling quilts, larger pillow covers, or multi-piece designs that would otherwise force you to rehoop every few stitches. I loaded a 12-inch wedding table runner with a repeating floral motif, and the machine handled the whole length in one go. No stopping, no realigning, just a steady stream of stitching. That's where the value really starts to show up. You save time, you save thread, and you avoid the frustration of rehooping mid-project. Speed is another factor that creeps into the decision. The spec sheet says up to 1,050 stitches per minute, and in a real-world test that number feels accurate when you're running a simple fill stitch on a flat piece of cotton. On more intricate designs with a lot of detail, the machine naturally eases off a bit to maintain stitch quality, but it still feels fast enough that you're not watching the needle crawl. If you're a hobbyist who does a few projects a month, the speed will feel more than sufficient. For a small business cranking out dozens of embroidered caps per week, you'll probably need a workhorse that can run continuously for longer periods, and the XE1's duty cycle isn't something I've seen tested in a commercial setting. One of the biggest draws is the library of built-in designs, 727 patterns and 101 fonts, ready to go straight from the screen. For someone who isn't a design whiz, that's a massive time saver. I tried a few of the default motifs, like a classic rose and a modern script, and they came out clean without having to download anything extra. The catch is that the library, while large, is static. If you want something truly custom, say a specific logo in a brand-specific font, you'll need to import a design via USB. The machine accepts .pes files, which is standard for embroidery, but the process of converting a digital image into a .pes file can be a stumbling block for the non-technical. In my experience, the learning curve for importing custom designs is manageable if you follow Brother's tutorial videos, but it's an extra step that some beginners might not expect. Let's get into the practical strengths that matter once the machine is sitting in your shop. First, the LED pointer is more than just a visual aid, it actually reduces waste. When you're working on a small patch, the pointer tells you exactly where the needle will start, so you can avoid stitching over a seam or a buttonhole by accident. Second, the large screen doubles as a preview monitor. You can scroll through the design, see the stitch count, and even estimate how much thread you'll need before you start. That foresight cuts down on mid-project trips to the supply cabinet. Third, the hoop size combined with the fast stitching means you can finish a full-size table runner in under an hour, a realistic benchmark if you're looking to produce items for a craft fair. On the flip side, there are a few trade-offs that deserve attention. The machine is built for the US market at 120 volts, so if you travel or live abroad, you'll need a proper voltage converter, which adds cost and complexity. The size of the unit itself is something to consider. It's heavier and bulkier than a compact sewing machine, so you'll need a